At the end of the day, it don't matter if Kamala is Indian as long as Trump is Trump. Welcome to a very special edition of Races of the Week. This is where we expose the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination in hopes we can build a more perfect union. And also laugh. As usual, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the page, and definitely leave me any possible suggestions for nominees in the comments. You can email me at reese@reesewaters.com. Also, by the way, we have our Racist of the Month compilation coming up this weekend, so be on the lookout for that. Today's nominee, MAGA. No sooner than Donald Trump doubled down on his Truth Social posts, this time at the NABJ convention.
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn, and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that
I think somebody should look into that too when you continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
And he did it, by the way, while wearing blackface, which was kind of doubly foul. We ran through this with Kellyanne Conway. I don't know how you disrespect people with blackface. You should have a little bit more respect if you're going to adopt the complexion. Well, social media got flooded with Kamala is Indian posts. Now, this has been happening for the last few days, but now it was on.
They also said back then, and she campaigned on this, being the first Indian American senator elected to the Senate, although Pocahontas also had to run for her money. But, you know, she campaigned on being Indian American. Kamala Harris, Indian American. Now all of a sudden, she did a 180. She really is elevating and pushing her black side. I think it's like 25% maybe.
They was all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too. But now I would call her up here to come and speak, that then I think I'd have to sleep on the couch tonight. So
I think my man Roy Wood Jr. said it best when he asked, "We now know Kamala's brave story. When did the rest of you turn black? How old were you? Where were you when the blackness finally took over your body? Share your stories. This is a safe place. #when I turned black." You know, I think it was when I turned 9. We did field day in our elementary school, and we were in the middle of the relay race, and I pulled up because my gout started acting up. Whenever it was definitely before I started prep school, because I knew immediately that food had no seasoning. Turning black. And you know what? I get it, because Trump is used to people turning on him, like his entire senior staff from 2020, and his hotels, and his marriages. Somebody tell him that Trump University is closed. You are not in admissions trying to decide if somebody qualifies for the Harriet Tubman Scholarship. In other words, who is you? Let's address the condescension it takes to try and determine somebody else's blackness as a white guy. Oh yeah, we want to know if Kamala Harris is really black, so we talked to 3 unvaccinated Trump supporters at a Wendy's in Toms River. That's exactly how my timeline looked. What about the Trump flag on your 2012 Ford Fiesta qualifies you to examine somebody else's heritage. Once I pass 8 Twitter burner accounts, then now I can lord over black people, and I tell them where exactly they should go and what boxes they could check.
I am a strong woman, a mom, a lawyer, and an American. And unlike you, Kamala, I know who my roots are. I know where I come from.
You're not even qualified to be a lawyer, but now you're a genealogist. How about the fact that no other group has the audacity to sit there and try and determine where other people can go and how they should identify? No other group tries that. But you know what? I think we should, because if that's what we're doing, if we up here just claiming and rejecting folks, we're gonna take Tina Marie. I want to take Tom Hanks, David Bowie, Adele. I'll take a James Carville, Prince Harry, Eminem, Paul Wall, Robert De Niro, and Al Pacino. Do they have to be alive? Betty White, Mr. Rogers, John Brown. Throw me who you claiming in the comments so you can go ahead and email me that as well. But you know, MAGA just absolutely took this and ran with it because they love nothing more than a reason to be racist. Oh, Kamala took a picture with her family. She's Indian. Well, apparently, so is J.D. Vance. And he is definitely not going to like that because he felt the need to apologize for his Indian wife.
Look, I love my wife so much. I love her because she's who she is. Obviously, she's not a white person, and we've been attacked by some white supremacists over that. But I love Usha. She's such a good mom.
Also, does Nikki Haley know she's Indian? Oh, I'm sorry, Nimrata. But y'all not challenging that. You know who definitely knows is Vivek Ramaswamy.
Me too. Thanks for having me. That was a fantastic opening monologue. I too am a fan of yours. So I'm going to make a point of disagreeing with you so that it will be fun. You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
I'm starting to sense a theme here. This isn't so much about her being black. I think y'all just really got a problem with Indian people. Well, you know what? We know all about that, so she should feel right at home. And by the way, since we're talking about families, yours, Trump, is voting for Kamala Harris.
I believe in policy over politics.
Yeah.
And without question, Kamala Harris's policies are what I get behind. So I will be voting for Kamala Harris. And if I'm asked, I will campaign for her without hesitation.
Good.
So you tell me what's more relevant, her 23andMe or the fact you can't get a vote from your own flesh in BLOOD? In fact, he went further and said you were a full-blown racist. I actually did a whole video about it. So what we have is a party that has taken the word of a man whose own family won't vote for him and says that he is racist and running with it in order to deconstruct how his opponent identifies herself. I'm trying to figure out, you challenging her blackness. Are you black?
You know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible. You see black people walking around with my mugshot. You know, they do shirts.
Oh, you know what? That's right. That's right. You got charges. That's right. That you got charges. That makes you more black than somebody with a Jamaican dad who went to a HBCU and pledged the Divine Nine. Uh-oh. Here come the troll. Laura Loomer, you can't even racism right. Look, if you're going to challenge her blackness, then you can't also use anti-black racism against her. Yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, because you're saying she's Indian, but then you be using anti-black racism against, that doesn't make any sense. Hey, somebody fail her in racism. She can't racism right. She can't racism right.
As far as who's Kamala, most of us wouldn't have gone in there and gone, who is Kamala Harris? Is she Indian? Well, she's Jamaican too. Not something I would have done, but he went in there and he peeled back the curtain. And a lot of times, I think early in her career, she identified as South Asian. That might have been effective in California. Now she is considered an African-American woman. You don't hear about that. She's not African-American technically because she has a Jamaican dad. I don't really distinguish about that stuff. Maybe other people do distinguish about that stuff. Barack Obama was mixed race. He identified as black. Okay, a lot of people that I know who are mixed race, sometimes they identify differently depending on the situation. And that's great. That's fine.
Well, we know that's a whole lie. So let me get this straight. When you're determining in this country who can own land, who can vote, and not be human chattel for the Southern economic system, it's one drop. That's all that's needed. You just need one drop. But all of a sudden, you run for president, and it's what? It's up to your nastiest aunt on Facebook to decide exactly whether she's black or not.
Stayed up in there in the mucky swamp. Diane always has them in the mucky swamp. Yeah.
That is convenient, because when she applies for a job, she's black. When she applies for a loan, she's black. When she walks into a party, she's black. But when she runs for president, then we all get to decide. Oh, sorry, not we all, you all. And by the way, this goes for the black people online who are engaging in all of this. And by the way, I recognize not everybody with a black face on social media is actually a black person. Yeah, this right here is right-wing commentator Joey Manarino attacking Kamala Harris's blackness a literal week after he was caught online pretending to be a black woman. You can't make this stuff up. I guess he thought he was in his black woman account. He thought he could speak freely in his black woman account. Look, those people are definitely out there, but for those actual black people who are on Al Green's internet talking about, well, she ain't black, she ain't FBA, she ain't FBA. Who's your FBA candidate? I'm trying to figure out who your FBA, because we have so many black or black adjacent possibilities. I'm trying to figure out who your FBA candidate is since we're having this conversation. You act like it was just a litany of potential black choices. We always have a whole Crayola box of black possibilities when it comes to who could be president, and we were supposed to pick the brown and we picked the caramel. Yeah, we were supposed to pick the brown. We messed that up. Now next time we pick the brown. Now here's a question, MAGA. What does Kamala Harris being Indian get you? Like, exactly what is the there? What is the point of all of this? I can only guess that the idea is to try and create a wedge between Kamala Harris and the black constituency. However, in all but 2 elections in modern American history, or all of American history, there has never been a black candidate with an opportunity to actually win the presidency. So clearly, we're capable of voting for people that aren't black. So why even are we having this conversation? Now, at no point in this entire video have I actually defended Kamala Harris's blackness, because I'm not even going to dignify that. There's tons of receipts out there. You guys can look for that. I'm not dignifying their nonsense. Now, let me just cede this to you for the sake of this conversation. Let's assume that Kamala Harris is Indian. Let's assume she's 100% Indian. She's got no black in her whatsoever. Here's a question. Does Kamala Harris being Indian mean that Donald Trump didn't call Colin Kaepernick and NFL players that were protesting back in 2017 SOBs?
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
Does Kamala Harris being Indian mean that Trump in the summer of 2020 didn't repeat the Southern strategy dog whistle of law and order, playing to white fears of black crime? Does Kamala Harris being Indian mean that Donald Trump didn't call for the execution of the Central Park Five? And by the way, doubled down on that several times when he's had an opportunity to clean that up. Does Kamala Harris being Indian mean that he didn't claim in Charlottesville that they were very fine people on both sides? Does Kamala Harris being Indian mean that the U.S. Department of Justice didn't have to settle with him for violating the Fair Housing Act, where he was discriminating against renters of color? Does Kamala Harris being Indian mean that Donald Trump didn't have all of the black casino workers removed from the floor when he walked in, according to Kit Brown? Does Kamala Harris being Indian mean that Trump didn't say that black guys counting my money, I hate it, the only kind of people I want counting my money are short guys that wear yarmulkes every day? I think the guy is lazy, and it's probably not his fault because laziness is a trait in blacks. He later said in a 1997 Playboy interview that the stuff that was written about me is probably true. Does Kamala Harris being Indian mean that didn't happen? Does Kamala Harris being Indian mean that he didn't drop an N on a potential apprentice winner who happened to be a black man? Does Kamala Harris being Indian mean that he didn't resort to birthirism when Obama was running for president? Does Kamala Harris being Indian mean that Trump didn't in 2017 claim that people who came to the U.S. from Haiti all have AIDS, or in 2018 say, why are we having all these people come from S-hole countries? At the end of the day, it don't matter if Kamala is Indian as long as Trump is Trump.
Donald Trump blew it, and the happiest person in the country tonight is Kamala Harris. Because she's sitting there cackling, look at this, look at Trump. He's just alienated millions of black voters who aren't going to really get what happened there.
Well, Caitlin, my first reaction was, this is the reaction of a desperate and scared old man. It was very obvious to me watching him and just what I've seen over the last week while she's been, across the country just kicking his butt, that he's afraid. He's probably afraid to debate her. He's certainly afraid to lose an election to her in November, and he's afraid about his own future. So I'm not surprised to see it, and I understand, what he's up against. I mean, he's up against an experienced prosecutor, somebody who served as a DA and an attorney general in the Senate, and now the vice president very successfully.
You damn right, Mark Kelly. And by the way, this really has tinges of something that we've heard before, something I've actually mentioned before back when Obama was running. So let me get this straight. We have two black people that have an opportunity to win the presidency, and the first time they claim that he's ineligible because of his birth certificate. He wasn't born in the country. And the second time they want to deconstruct her blackness. Yeah, this ain't nothing but birthirism 2.0. But the saddest part about it is, unlike birthirism, which would have disqualified him, not only does this not disqualify her, it's just stupid. So we have a level of desperation As much as we've seen this nonsense before, we have a level of desperation we've definitely never seen before. It's only getting crazier from here on out. Congratulations, MAGA, and especially your Lord and Savior, Donald Trump. You are our racist of the week. By the way, feel free to add any thoughts in the comments, or you can email me. Hey, MAGA. Yeah, let me holler at you for a second. Yeah, everybody left. Everybody gone. Hey, Byron Donald's family is Jamaican too. Can y'all challenge his blackness? Yeah, we'll let you have him. Sincere thanks to everybody who's reached out to me and submitted suggestions for videos. Keep them coming. I take submissions for ideas for a video, suggestions for Racist of the Week. If you have something that just troubles you, or you just want to send me a note, because I love getting those notes, go ahead and shoot me an email at reese@reesewaters.com. I also have a newsletter that I send out periodically, so you'll be receiving that as well. You can also sign up on my website, reesewaters.com.